Hey friends! Okay, so this is the only part I'm actually going to talk while this is recording, and then I'll just go back and add in the voiceover. If I try to do this while I'm doing it, I'm going to get really distracted. It's going to carry on. I already did this, and it ended up being like almost an hour and a half. That's ridiculous. So, I have been making... I've been making these little guys for a craft fair coming up at the end of the month. And they're really simple. There's nothing like super extravagant to it. Very basic things. I make this out of one sheet, one 12 by 12 sheet. There's a post-it pad in here. This one just has a bookmark and a journal tag in here. And it has a notepad in there, and then of course it has the journal, and then I just write in here what is in here, and then we make a pin for it. Lila's been helping me do that, so she's been a big help. This one's kind of the same. It's a little different. It has the post-its in there. It has two little mini envelopes, a couple journal cards in there, the journal itself, and then the pin. And I think they're all just a little bit different, and it just depends on how you want to do it. These are not extravagant. They are not new. These are just me kind of sitting down with this one sheet of paper, cutting what size I think I want for this, and then making what I can make with the rest of the paper. Not a professional in the least. I do this for fun because it has been a therapy for me, and I love it. And this is going to be my first craft fair, and I was posting it in my group with my other friends who craft, and they're super supportive, and they asked if there was a video I was following, and there is not. And through this video, when I'm making the certain things, if I saw somebody making it, I will mention it. I always try to give credit where credit is due, and then how I altered it to make it kind of to myself. So the very basic thing, I am going to use a file folder. I bought a package. I don't remember how many. I'll look back and see how many is in these, but I got them off Amazon. There's a whole bunch of them, and they're just like monochromatic colors, white all the way down to black. Just to keep it real simple. And I have other colors that I bought from Walmart pretty cheap, 10 bucks I think, for 25 maybe, for 20, I don't know. So a file folder, real simple. I chose white this time because of this colored paper. Got this from Joann's. She's closing, so I took advantage. This is single-sided, and I feel like that's kind of important. That way I don't have to choose which side I wanted to sacrifice gluing down. So this is going to be the the bases of it. And again, when I'm doing the voiceover, I'll tell you what the measurements is I'm going to do. And then these are just like little add-on things. I pulled some tags from other places. This was in a kit, in a paper pad. I'm not sure which one. I'll have to look. But it's also from Joann. This is from Joann's also. These are like little cards I thought would be fun to go with that one, because it looks kind of vintagey like that one. And of course I got a sticky note pad. This is Dollar Tree. I bought a big pack from Target. I think it had 10 sticky note pads in it, maybe, for $4 or $5. Not really expensive. But this is one pad, and I probably will separate it up into two and get two post-it pads out of it. And then these I got it's a 3-pack, or I don't remember. Stop making me quote things. I don't remember, but it's at the Pop Shop. Is that what that's called? It's like I don't know what it is. It's like the Pop Stop or Shop or something like that. It was the first one I ever been in. And anyway, I bought a bunch of these, and I've just been separating them up. But they're also sticky notes, so I thought that was cool. So I have these two that I'm going to pair with that. Scissors, glue. If you have a cutting board, cool. If you have a scoreboard, cool. If you don't, that's okay. I didn't for a long time. I just folded and used a ruler. whatever you have. String, if you're going to want to put some papers in there into your journal, little extra papers that maybe you want to make some pockets with. All that's kind of unnecessary though. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. It'd be cool if you did, because then you kind of want to make it a journal, right? So it's really simple to make pockets. I love making pockets. Really cool thing. So I kind of just picked out some like vintagey looking floral papers to be pockets, right? That I already been cutting on. Use your scraps. And then my TV is talking. I got my crocodile, my hole punchers, and that's really it. And then I have a little cellophane bag thing that I put everything in. That's really it. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start. I'll probably speed it up. I still will try to talk to you through it as much as I can. Just like I said, I've already took up 6 minutes, almost 6.5 minutes of this video. I hope that you like it. Let me know what you think. Here we go. Whee! Okay, so I'm not going to speed this particular part up. And the reason for this is because you're going to see that I write down on the card what I measured my particular folder at, and I wanted to make it clear you do not have to measure your folder at this. This is just what I wanted my folder to be, and it's because I wanted this one to be just a little bit bigger. So I'm just taking off the opening side first, and I'm lining it up, and my folder ends up being a 5x7. And I just really wanted this one to be a tad bigger. And I didn't have a particular reason other than to show I have these smaller ones, but I can have, larger ones too, that there's really no rhyme or reason as to why they have to be the size that they are. And you're going to see here, I chose to pick 5x7, and that's really it. That's what you're going to see. I do this piece of card to write down measurements, and this is the only measurement I write down. So I'm terrible at doing it. I forget about this card completely the rest of the time. The rest of my measurements are going to be based off of the size of the folder, how I chose to make my folder. The rest of the measurements are really just that. I do my paper, I went ahead and cut it in half, and I did that, of course, by the size. So normally a 12x12 paper, you think you would cut it by, 6 inches. Obviously I didn't do that with this one because I needed it bigger. So I did it, I still think that I did it 7x12, but in the end, I did end up trimming around the edges, and you'll see that where I'm trimming around the edges. And here's the fun part. This is why I speed it up, because my direction changed. I end up pulling out this book from Amazon of these cool pages that I haven't got to use yet, and I was like, oh, well, this will look really nice with this vintage folder. And it does. It looks really cool. And now you can see the front of my journal has now changed. And this is one of the reasons why I can't just talk through a video, because my creation is chaotic. That is exactly what my creative thing is. It's just chaos. It's constantly changing. So I'm just using a bit of the glue dot tape, and you can see the pages are not quite as long, or as big as the folder, which is still fine because I'm gonna go back later. I don't record it in this video, but I'll end up inking around, so you won't even be able to tell that those pages are on this, white folder. It's gonna end up looking like it's meant to be that way because now I've got the ink around it. And that's what I'm doing. I've kind of preferred to use these glue dot runners for these lighter weight papers so we don't get those weird crinkles. I should have trimmed that one down closer to the binding, the spine there, but I didn't, and I forgot. But yeah, I just I just prefer it, and it's because it don't create those weird crinkles like glue does. But it's okay. You don't have quite as much give. You can see there. Once you lay down with them glue dots, you better hope and pray you can pull up your paper without messing it up, because those glue dots are, excuse me, they are unforgiving. Chances are it's gonna mess your paper up, and the chances are pretty high. And you can see there I'm kind of wiggling because I didn't trim that side closest to the spine there. So I couldn't decide how I really wanted to do it, so I decided to create it like a hinge, because I didn't really want to cover anything up, and that's the hard part when you're using like this double-sided and the paper is just so pretty. And that's why I almost want to not use really pretty paper, is so that I don't have to, because I love making pockets. So I just decided I was going to create this hinge where it would flip out, and decided not to put any particulars in there, like not a pocket or anything. Maybe they could, later you're going to see me create the sticky notes. Maybe they could stick their sticky notes to it and things like that. And then I have to pause because I remembered I bought the glitter glue, so I wanted to try it, and it took me a minute to like get it all set up. So these papers I took from another Amazon book, and I really will put them down in the description. And this is just me like trying to get the glue set up. And then I realized after I put that much glue that I didn't need that much glue. So it was, but I get it now. I get how great the glue is. I understand. I get it. So I'm just kind of creating these sort of flip outs, and I almost turned it into a whole pocket, but then I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I like options when I get things. So I decided not to do that, and you're going to see I'm going to rip this kind of opening here, and it's so that it will keep opening. There you go. And it'll be one fluid motion, but also still two pieces. And it works out. And so that's how I created this spot, the whole folder. So now we're just going to work on creating the sticky notepad. But I'm going to do the notepad first. And I'm just marking where I want it to be. So I'm still going to want that kind of lip over the top. So I just give myself enough room. And I'm just going to cut that in half. And I'm not really cutting it, I'm just pulling it in half to still have some. I'm just really basic. Gluing the back, letting it go, gluing it down. That is really all there is to it. I'm going to have the lip at the top, a little bit of glue, pull it over. And that is what will create the top of that. And that'll be the whole little notepad there. It looks like they won't be able to pull it apart, but they will. And I really like this particular corner punch. It's actually a tag punch style. So I'm just getting that glue up there at the top. Just going to pull it over. And I probably will find a different way to kind of do it too, just in case anybody else worries. I'm sure there's tons of other ways, but that's just how I was doing it. And I'm going to move to the Post-its. Super simple. Half it, triple it, however we want to split it up. And you'll see I'm going to mark it also. And then I'll have that kind of piece over there that I'll cut off. And that can be used for the closure or whatever you may want it to be. You'll have that piece, real simple. using that same punch to do those corners. I just really like it. And the same thing, created that lip and pulling it over. Same. It's all the same. Super simple. No fuss, no muss. Alright, so just creating a tag. A bookmark there. Adding the pin. I added some of these little envelopes, envelope pockets that I already had made, just to give it a little extra. Right, so this is the end. You saw I just turned this into a bookmark. I would just add a pin. I didn't do anything extra to the notebook. And the reason for that is I left it completely open. I would have went back and added some elastic just to add paper. But this is the absolute most basic thing. This would have been my closure. And I probably would have attached it to a little piece of the folder that I cut off just to make it a little bit more sturdy. And then I just took two little envelope pockets, and I did not attach them on the inside, and the reason for that is I didn't want to cover up anything on the inside, and so I just added it like this. And those are just kind of the extra things. I wanted to leave kind of that blank canvas for anybody who wanted it to be able to customize it the way they wanted it. So we ended up with the notepad, the post-it pad, the bookmark, the journal, two envelope pockets, the pen, and then of course I brought in some of those papers. These little papers here are called the Book of Notes. They are from Amazon, and the other ones are from that floral little booklet, these right here. And I just thought those were like a little fun add-on. My art glitter glue came today, so I get it. I understand why it's such a thing. I get it. I understand completely. So this is a kit. Honestly, I'm not going to put it in the bag yet because I will go back and do the string and put papers in it, just because this is going to go out to the craft fair. So, but this is the most basic. I still won't attach any pockets or anything in here because I still want this to be a blank canvas for whatever they want to do to it. And that's really all. I may go ahead and add this envelope also, just to have a little bit of extra, because I do feel like it's a larger journal than the other ones. And I would just add it into here, and then I would write on a piece of paper, just a normal piece of paper, probably one of the post-its that I saved off of it, what all is included in the journal. Maybe a little note on the inside, thank you, whatever. But that's really it. There's no like crazy thing that happens. Super simple. You saw it, the whole thing without me pausing probably would have took maybe 30 minutes if I wouldn't have paused a whole bunch and did other things. But there you go. I hope this helped, and you saw all of this things happening in the chaos. I didn't even use the other sheets that I pulled out. I could have, I guess. I may still, you never know. But this is just the most simple thing that I could show. And then you can go in and customize it the way you want to. Again, these are the measurements here. Hold on. I cut the shoulder to 5x7. That's it. That's the measurement for it. 5x7. That's it. And you're all set. I hope that this helped, and I'll see you later. Bye!